My room's a little bit messy right now, so please bear with me as we talk about today's video. I haven't cleaned up for Phoenix Fan Fusion and all the stuff that's come out with it, so there's a lot of stuff for me to go through. But anyways, today we're not talking about Phoenix Fan Fusion though. We are here to talk about the Boothill banner for Honkai Star Rail and whether it's good or bad. To me, I can already tell you right now, I feel a lot of veterans are gonna look at this banner and be like, this might be a trap for us a little bit, but there's still some really good units on this banner. So let's go ahead and talk about that. But before we get into that, please make sure to hit that like, subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell to be notified of when the next Honkai Star Rail video comes out. And of course, leave a comment. Would love to hear y'all's opinion on the banner. And of course, don't forget, I'm sponsored by the ever wonderful Gamer Subs. Make sure to use code TAISTY for 10% off. Y'all, the Battle Girl Cup sold out quick, right? And it was a battle between Red Raspberry and Arctic Cooler. Now, what that means is one stays, one goes. And if you got your Battle Girl Cup, you also got a free tub of either Red Raspberry or Arctic Cooler. So whoever got bought the most is gonna stay, but whoever didn't is gonna leave. We're not gonna see any more of that flavor once it's sold out. And that's crazy, man. That's crazy. So who won? Let me know in the comments down below which flavor you ordered if you did. But without any further delay, let's go ahead and talk about the Boothill banner. Now, of course, I gave a little bit of an ill omen just before we switched to the screen about how veterans might not be liking this banner and it could be a trap for them. Let's go ahead and talk about that. First things first, one of the oldest units that we've had, Pella. But Pella is still a really good unit in general if you have not E6'd her. She is a great defense shredder, very good. Nihility is always a plus, especially when you have units like Acheron who need, you know, well, don't really need, but other Nihility units on top of her will make her happy, right? I gotta rephrase that because Black Xuan is the only one on top of her. Am I right? Oh, Jesus. That was a terrible joke. But anyways, but Acheron does get a solid boost with Nihility units alongside her. Especially, I think it's like C1 or C2. But Pella is a great unit to have in general, even on a non-Acheron team. She, with that defense shredding capabilities, she is like amazing and still considered a top tier 4-star. So I would definitely say if you do get Pella on this banner and you haven't E6'd her, that's still a win. Now let's talk about Hook. Hook to me, I mean, if you're going for Boothill, you don't really need Hook, right? While Hook does AoE damage, and that's still really good in the grand scheme of things, we have units like Acheron that can multi-target as is, as a Nihility unit, right? So there's really like not really a need for Hook. Now, the problem also is that if you are saying, well, what if we just started on this banner and Hook's right there and we don't have an AoE damager? That's perfectly fine, but there's going to be plenty of chances to get better AoE damagers in general other than Hook. Like, there's 4-stars that are better at AoE damage than Hook. But Hook is still decent. Like, if you like Hook, then, you know, you like Hook, and that's good. But I don't think Hook is one of the units that everybody is going after. It's like between Hook and Arlen that everyone's just like, yeah, I don't really go for them. However, Hook could still be good. I've seen good built, like really solid hooks that people have built. I just don't think it's going to be that make or break unit on your account. So if you are like on the Hook train, more power to you. Honestly though, Hook is a thumbs down for me. Speaking of Nihility units from earlier with Pella, we do have Luca. Now, Luca is kind of different, you know, with Pella being able to defense shred. Luca is going to basically help drain HP, right? With the bleed aspect of it. Where is it? It's right here. So in his skill for a single target, deals physical damage equal to 150% of Luca's attack to a single enemy target. In addition, there's a 100% base chance to inflict bleed on them, lasting for 3 turns. While bleeding, the enemy will take 24% of their max HP as physical damage at the start of each turn, which is still really good. It's still like bleed is still a very good I'd say Nihility effect. However, I think that other Nihility effects have kind of taken precedence because outside of bleed, I don't think Hook really does much outside of like doing as much damage as he can. So really he just kind of gets outshined by other Nihility units, which is sad to say because he's a great designed character in my opinion. I really like how he's designed. Unfortunately, he's outshined by so many different Nihility units. We have an abundance of Nihility units. Let me take a look at that real quick, right? Let's take a look at the Nihility side of things, right? Like, we have so many great units in general. Pella and Sampo are up there in Nihility. Gwynaifin's really, really good as a 4-star. And then we talk about 5 stars. Like, we have Kafka, Black Swan, Akron. Hell, even people fight for Silverwolf and Welt. So there's plenty of options for Nihility. And I just don't think that Luca outshines a lot of them. I think that Luca honestly might be the second, not worst, obviously, but the second least used. So, sorry, I just woke up a little bit ago, but that's just me. Luca's not bad, but he's definitely not the Nihility unit that you're looking for, right? But what is a unit that you're looking for? Xuan. Xuan is insane, right? I know we just got Aventurine, right? But there's differences between Xuan and Aventurine, right? Aventurine is a shielder, 100%, and he's really, really good. And you can fight for him being one of, like, the best preservation unit. But his competition is Xuan, a damage mitigator, right? So she's going to she's going to either take all the damage and then heal people. Well, I think that she heals like everyone off of her like yin and yang thing. Where is it? Talent, yeah. When Xuan is still active in battle, misfortune avoidance is applied to the entire team. Allies take 22% less damage. Xuan's current HP fall when Xuan's HP falls under 50% of her HP or less. HP restore will be triggered for Xuan. Okay, never mind, just her. So it's just her. But she's going to be taking most of that damage, right? Because she takes aggro and she takes most of the damage. Plus, all of your units take 22% less damage, or 24. Is it 22 or 24? 22. Okay, so I was right. 22. But Xuan is still really good, right? She's the one who's going to be taking the brunt of it. Now, unfortunately, recently we've seen that she'll take a lot of hits and then just die, especially with the Sunday battle because there's so much going on. However, I think that you could still really work Xuan into that battle. I think that you ultimately need a shielder, but she could still pack a punch so long as you're building her with the defense that she needs, right? So I think Xuan's still top freaking tier, SS tier, 100%. She is normally somebody you should summon for. Now let's get on to Boothill. Now Boothill is part of the Hunt, which with the addition to Robin, the Hunt has got a little bit of playability compared to the other teams, right? But what's also really, really cool is that we do get Super Break as a team, and Boothill is all for Super Break, right? He's gonna need a lot of break effect in his kit, and he does a lot. Like, it's just he's really, really good. However, for me, when I look at Boothill and I see on the horizon we have Firefly, which is rumored to be insane, like she's really, really good, and then we also have Jade. It's tough for me to say, like, yeah, go for the single target DPS. However, single target DPSs do have a place in the meta, and apparently, from what beta testers have said, he is considered the best single target DPS right now, or at least that's what a lot of beta testers that I've talked to have said. So it's definitely hard for me to say skip him when he's that good, but it's really dependent on what you have on your account. If you already have Topaz or you're maining a Doctor Ratio, not to say that you don't need a Boothill, but you already have that single target DPS that you're looking for. But it doesn't hurt to get more. So, should you summon on Xuan? If you did not get Aventurine, I think you should summon on Xuan. If you did get Aventurine, I would still consider Xuan for your second team or first team and make Aventurine your second team. Xuan's just that good. The only thing that sucks for this banner is that your 4 stars are not really going to work. Well, they work, but they're not going to be like big on a Xuan team, right? You could summon and get all the 4 stars and Xuan and still have a very good team. It's as simple as that. So Xuan, I think, is a must summon. Boothill, it's tough. It's tough to say he's a must summon because I've got a thing of hate against single target DPSs, but I'm starting to warm up to him more. He's good. Like, he is good. Like, God, it's tough. Because I've used Xuan so much, so I know how good she is, but I don't have firsthand Boothill experience. I would say if you're summoning for Boothill, there is nothing wrong with that, and he's really good in his own right. If you don't summon for Boothill, I can't fault you. So he's kind of an even for me. Like, I don't have experience, and I feel like I could go off of just the words of saying, like, he's really good, and just, like, yeah, you should summon. I could go the easy route and just be like, oh, yeah, every character is a must summon, and I don't think that's fair. To me, I look at Boothill, I think his kit is really, really good, but I'm like, do I really need someone to replace my Topaz or my Dr. Ratio? I think he could do it, so I'm going to say, yeah, summon for him. But, word of caution, if you are going to summon for him, summon for him. Because don't just put some in there to build up pity and be like, oh yeah, you know, whatever. Because if you summon him and you're not fully invested, you're going to have a Boothill and you're going to be very, very upset. Because you're going to be like, oh yeah, I mean, he's great, but I didn't want him. But I only summoned because whatever. I think ultimately, if you do something for Boothill, that's not a bad choice. It really is not, because he is freaking good. So, and that's going to be it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about Boothill. Are you excited for him? Are you going to be summoning for him? Would love to hear y'all's opinions on this. But that's going to be it for me today. Love you all to death. And as always, we will catch you in the next video. Please take care and be safe.